The state of Israel had arrested one of the victims. They blocked the ambulance of Hamdan Ballal after he had been attacked. Take a look at this video. Let's look at that again. How many is there? There looks about 12 to 20 people there. Look at that. 1, 2, about 5, 10, 15. And then he's wearing a mask, right? And then they just throw a rock or something right at the vehicle. The vehicle, they just are sitting there. They're not doing anything. And then we don't see anything after that.
Get in the car. Oi. Get in. Let me go. No. Oh my god. Oh, good thing this window is open.
So there's 3 video clips, right? You got that first terrorist attack right there. But then after this terrorist attack, you're going to have a bunch of windows are getting busted out. They're busting the windows out, right? You can hear them busting the windows. You see the glass shattering. And then this last scene here is Anna Lippman. She's going to get shoved, and then the guy is trying to swing. He's swinging on her, swinging fist at her. And they said no. So this is Anna Lippman. This isn't just Hamdan Ballal, but I got more details on his particular case. But 5 Americans who were in Palestine got attacked by these Israeli settlers as well. So he definitely shoved her. Right? So there's a big rock thrown right at the camera, right at the main windshield, and we have no sound. Here we got sound. So let's stop right there and just come, let's say some of the details. So the guy that we're focused on is a guy named Hamdan Ballal, and I'll show you a picture of Hamdan Ballal here in a second. He just won an Oscar. His film had won at the Berlin Film Festival. It's a film called No Other Land. And No Other Land, the distributors in America are too cowardly to distribute it. And that's one way to censor somebody, right, by not showing the images. It's very important that we see these images. If you think of Vietnam or Emmett Till. So Hamdan Ballal were attacked by settlers, masked settlers. They were masked, right, like the KKK. The police were called to the scene. They refused to stop the violent attack. They refused to stop the violent attack. And then as the ambulance that had Hamdan Ballal in it, they blocked him. And then they said they arrested him. Hamdan Ballal is a farmer. He's a farmer. He's got a 7-year-old child. And they said that he was taken away. This is after he was attacked. He had blood coming out of his head, blood coming out of his stomach, and so far, Hamdan Ballal is missing. We don't know where Hamdan Ballal is. His condition and his location is unknown. This has been going on in this region in Massacre Yada, since the 70s and the 80s. The terrorists were ordering Hamdan Ballal and the other villagers to leave their homes. Specifically, the village is Susiya, Susiya. They were ordering them to leave their homes, and they destroyed their water tanks in this incident right here. And you see the timestamp said 3/24/2025, which means it just happened today. It just happened today. The IDF has announced that they arrested 3 people. So they've at least admitted that they had arrested 3 people. I also know that the Palestinians' oppression by themselves, yeah, they're the victims, but that by themselves will not save them. Here is them winning the Oscars.
To the Academy for the award. It's such a big honor for the four of us, and everybody supported us for this documentary.
So the guy that we're talking about is Hamdan Ballal. Hamdan Ballal is this guy that's standing right behind this speaker. This is the guy, right? This took a lot of courage. They were saying, why would they have to go to Hollywood or whatever to accept this thing? Because they're going to go return to a reality which is very, terrible. And so they came here, they won the Oscar, and hopefully with the attention that they could get some change, right? So this happened 3 weeks ago. This was just 3 weeks ago, earlier in March. So the village that was the focus of No Other Land, which again is not being distributed in America, was Susia. That was the focus of that particular village, and it was in Massafur, Yada. Massafur, Yada, right here. It's a collection of 19 Palestinian hamlets in the southern West Bank in the Hebrew governorate of Palestine. So there's some of the, here's a little picture. Well, that's just a picture of, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little dot right there. And then they're saying that this has been a firing zone. It was declared a military firing zone since the 1970s. It's a bunch of hamlets situating within the municipal boundary of Yada. Massafur Yada. And then it even mentions the 2024 documentary film No Other Land, winner of the Best Documentary Oscar, focuses on Massafur Yada. And the years for the documentary was 4 years prior to the October 7th attack, so 2019 to 2023. So you get to see how the conditions were, for 4 years. So again, the American distributors are too cowardly. The American distributors have been too cowardly to distribute this film, which needs to be seen, because when the images of Vietnam were shown to the American public were outraged. Emmett Till, when he got lynched, his mother made sure that the casket, that the American public had seen what they did to her son. So it's important to see what the atrocities that Israel's doing with America's money, United Nations umbrella, and weapons, guns, tanks, planes, bombs, missiles, to the tune of billions and billions and billions of motherfucking dollars. In the movie, they show in the movie No Other Land where the school's getting bulldozed over. It's showing where the playground is getting demolished. And they're filling the water wells with cement. They also show a guy named Adra. His brother got killed. So they're bulldozing schools, bulldozing playgrounds in the village, filling up water wells with cement. Adra's brother was killed. They've been trying to demolish this area since the 70s and the 80s.
Get in the car.
Other movies from Ground Zero and Gaza, How to Survive a War Zone, are being censored in America as well. It's really important for AIPAC and for the military-industrial complex and for those who have no morals to not show any of these images. And so it's entirely possible that there's some Americans that don't realize that this is going on. But it'd be hard to ignore it because how many people are speaking out about it? And if you really want to see the images, X.com, they've been doing a good job when it comes to free speech, and they've been showing the atrocities. I just saw some images today where there was 3 kids looking for their parents who got buried underneath the rubble. Now, a lot of times, the Israelis, they're afraid of, the Baba Yaga, the Kikimori, the Loup Guru. They're afraid of the boogeyman. They're afraid of what somebody else might do. And instead of defending themselves, they actually attack other people. This film was only shown in LA, mostly LA and New York City theaters. They had one screening on February 2nd and it made $26,000. No other land did. It was expanded to 120 screens and it made $1.2 million. And so, I mean, it's incredible that you'd have to document a bunch of atrocities for 4 fucking years. For 4 fucking years. Meanwhile, when Emmett Till was killed, well, hell, all that white woman, that Caucasian female who started it all, who initiated the entire conflict, all she had to do was lie, call either, the KKK or the police, and something was done about it based upon a lie. And yet here they're documenting truth on top of truth. What was Snow White says? Just be fair and true. Fair, courageous and true. Fair, fearless, fair and true. Now, the recent ceasefire has been declared over. The recent ceasefire has been declared over. So when Donald first got in there, it was pretty exciting because it looked like we might actually have peace in the Middle East. But apparently Donald is too big of a coward to stand up to Netanyahu. Donald is not strong enough to stand up to Netanyahu. He's got to get down on his hands and knees, and he's got to suck that dick. He's got to suck that asshole. He's got to give Netanyahu, clean that rim up. Make sure he gives him a nice rim job. Now this is important, okay? Let's read this little thing. The film first premiered in last year's Berlin Film Festival, where it earned top documentary jury and audience prizes. The documentary continued to earn critical acclaim. Attention on the fall festival circuit, where it was played at Toronto, Vancouver, and New York film festivals. Despite this, the film doesn't have a U.S. distributor, so it's not coming to a theater near you. I don't even know. They should put it on DVD and sell it on Amazon, if that's possible at all. Put it on DVD, sell it on Amazon, and then maybe even upload it onto X.com, because I saw the Gaza, How to Survive a War Zone. Because from Ground Zero, I have seen Gaza, How to Survive a War Zone, and I have not seen this film, No Other Land. All that, talk about Snow White, and yet this is being censored, and it's being censored deliberately. Because if you're killing a lot of Vietnamese people, well, you don't want to be told that your country is doing a bunch of evil. And so killing 400,000 people, you don't think killing 400,000 people is evil? That's fucked up. That's super fucked up. So here's some recent headlines about Israel and Gaza. And I got some facts here. So the recent ceasefire has collapsed. There was supposed to be a phase 2 on March 2nd. But since March 18th, Israel has just been indiscriminately killing people in Palestine. So far, I first heard reports of 200 killed, 300 killed, 500 killed. So far, 700 people have been fucking killed. 700 fucking people have been killed. Donald isn't strong enough. He's not strong enough to stand up to Netanyahu. People want to talk about Luigi Mangione. Get the fuck out of here. You care about innocent life being killed, then you would say, stop what you're doing, fucking Israel. But apparently Israel's a bad neighbor. And when thou should not kill, thou should not steal, thou should not covet thy neighbor's goods, they're breaking the 10 Commandments left and right. Donald isn't strong enough to stop Netanyahu, just like LBJ wasn't strong enough to stop Israel after the USS Liberty was attacked. Israel had attacked America in 1967, and we still didn't stand up. Nancy Pelosi said even if America collapsed, we'll still send billions of dollars to Israel. So this is just Joe Biden 2.0. This is America Last policy. Since March 18th, 183 kids have been killed, 94 women, 34 old folks, and 125 men. And that's if we get to the, specifics, as specific as we can possibly get, but the numbers are fudged. Overall, there's been 400,000 killed, and hardly anybody even talks about that. But if you think about the Iraq War, how many people were killed in the Iraq War? How come we don't know the exact body count? Was it 100,000? Did we kill 100,000 Iraqis, or did America kill 500,000 Iraqis? Or was it 1 fucking million? We don't know. It's like Mariupol. Tens of thousands were killed in Mariupol by Putin. Israel's also killed 170 journalists. Why would they do that? Because they don't want anybody taking pictures. They don't want any videotape of the atrocities that they're fucking doing. They're going around killing innocent people. Why would a criminal not want to be videotaped doing their crimes? Because they don't want to be caught doing their fucking crimes. So these images have to reach Americans. Let's just take a look at some of these headlines. Israel readies plans for the occupation of Gaza. Phase 2 was Hamas gets out of the government and Israel stops the occupation. That's phase 2. Donald was strong enough to say, hey, Netanyahu, you better listen, when he first got into office, but he can't. He's not strong enough anymore. And this is how ceasefires have happened in Israel. They've broken a whole bunch of fucking ceasefires. Like a dozen to 20, just like Putin has broken ceasefire. They'll agree to a ceasefire, then they'll kill 700 Palestinians, and then Palestinians will fire a couple rockets and they'll say, see, Palestine broke the ceasefire. No, you did, Israel. Netanyahu, you broke the fucking ceasefire. It's almost like they cry victim when they're, it's like, hey, he pushed me down. Well, why'd he do that? I was just trying to stab him to death. I was just trying to stab him to death, and then he pushed me down. He pushed me down. He wasn't going to let me stab him to death. Yeah, you're the fucking victim. I'm so fucking sure. This is cutting the grass. This is routine. It's been happening since 2005. That's how the ceasefire deals go down. They'll agree to a ceasefire. They'll break the ceasefire, and they'll keep breaking the ceasefire until the Palestinians have had enough, and then the Palestinians will retaliate, and then they'll say, see what they just did? Israel's latest war plans to occupy Gaza and rule the Palestinians. Netanyahu and top aides think Israel must beat Hamas on the battlefield. Israel considers massive new ground offensive in Gaza as it ramps up pressure on Hamas. There's a couple tweets. I mean, look at all these. You know, this is a whole bunch of stuff, right? A whole bunch of stuff when it comes to Israel and Palestine. Netanyahu made brilliant move to go back to the war in Gaza. Caught Hamas completely off guard. Yeah, fucking brilliant. Yeah, hey, let's have a peace deal. Ooh, I just, blew up your kids. Ooh, I'm fucking genius. How Netanyahu got his Gaza war back. Israel's week of political clashes. A Gaza war that changes nothing. It wasn't illustrious. There's fucking nukes. We live in an age of nuclear warfare. We're playing with, talk about World War III. We're fucking playing with World War III. Why does Israel want to resume the Gaza war? Well, Netanyahu's got all those criminal charges against him. So he wants to not go to court and face the criminal charges, and so he just keeps on going to war, right? Israel goes back to war in Gaza. Israel's critical week. Government power grab sparks. They're also stopping the humanitarian aid. They cut off the electric, so no food, water, electricity is going into Gaza. Somebody said that Hassan Abi should go into Palestine. I mean, Hassan Abi is such a big, he cares about Palestine. And then Hassan was saying, you can't get out of Palestine. You can't get into Palestine. You'll get shot. You'll get shot. Cynthia McKinney tried to do that Freedom Flotilla just to give them some food. And then they arrested the flotilla and stopped the food from getting into Gaza. This is an intentional blockade. It's an open-air prison. Bethlehem is the birthplace of Jesus Christ. Bethlehem is in Palestine. When I read about the birth of Christ, it would seem crazy that King Herod would kill all those kids. Like when Moses was born. Pharaoh says, kill all the newborn Hebrew children. That's crazy. That doesn't even sound right. Does that sound right to you? Some goddamn fucking king just wants to kill a bunch of fucking kids? Why? Because the Messiah was born? You're just afraid that the Messiah was born? But we're watching that happen right now. A massacre of the innocents is happening right now. How Israel plans to escalate its war on Hamas in Gaza. Israel may be planning to occupy Gaza indefinitely. Israel's raging a war with no rules in Gaza. Netanyahu's difficulties are behind the return of war. Here's some news articles about Hamdan Ballal. So Hamdan Ballal here, Oscar-winning Palestinian director attacked by Israeli settlers. Oscar-winning Palestinian director of No Other Land. 2 other Palestinians arrested alongside Oscar-winning activist, Oscar-winning Palestinian director. Whole bunch of articles. So if you aren't paying attention and you're not getting your news, anywhere, I mean, the Daily Mail, Yahoo, the Times of Israel, look at all these, And then it's saying that he's being lynched. He was abducted, he was being lynched. Saying he's being detained by the Israeli army. Nobody has seen him since. Palestinian filmmaker Hamdan Ballal taken by Israeli soldiers after he was attacked by settlers. Oscar-winning Palestinian director attacked by Jewish settlers. Then he was arrested, right? Arrested the victim. Smart fucking Hamdan Ballal, breaking news. Oscar-winning Palestinian director is attacked by Jewish settlers. No Other Land director Hamdan Ballal attacked and missing. Oscar-winning Palestinian filmmaker Hamdan Ballal arrested for throwing rocks, they say. Oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's just going around throwing rocks at people. We saw the video. Let's take a look if we see. So far, we see videos of them throwing rocks. Look at them. This is a fucking terrorist attack. This is a bunch of KKK, civilian citizens or whatever, people, regular folks, taking it upon themselves to attack a vehicle who's just sitting there. I don't see any of the Palestinian people throwing any rocks. What I do see is an Israeli throwing a fucking rock right there and a whole bunch of fucking evil fucks that's going to surround the car and they're going to break the windows, slash the tires, destroy the car, shove people, throw rocks, use violence.
Get in the car.
So if this is true, right, just like they said Emmett Till had whistled at a white woman. That's why the Emmett Till got lynched, because he whistled at a white woman, but then we found out on her deathbed she admitted that he didn't even whistle at her. So that was actually more than what he did. What did he say? Hey, how you doing, ma'am? You got a nice hat there, ma'am. I sure do like your hat. Hey, are you coming on to me? No, ma'am, but I am proud. I am a proud man, and I am confident in myself. I just watched that 2022 Emmett Till movie, and that mother was courageous. Emmett Till got straight up lynched for no goddamn reason whatsoever, but they said he was whistling at a white woman, which turned out to not be true. So, are we going to believe the IDF when they say, oh, well, Hamdan Ballal was throwing stones at us? Okay, show me the videotape. Show me the fucking evidence. Show me the fucking evidence of that. Surely you got a picture, you got videotape, you got his fingerprints. You got something, right? We're just supposed to take your fucking word for it? No, I'm not going to take your fucking word for it. They're saying Hamdan Ballal was beaten, his head and stomach was bleeding, and they're saying that he was lynched. They're saying that he was lynched. Basil Adra, he's the one that lost his father, Palestinian journalist and activist fighting to save his community. Massacre Yada from forced eviction. He says that he was there with Hamdan's 7-year-old son near the blood of Hamdan in his own house after settlers had lynched him. Hamdan was the co-director of No Other Film. He's still missing after soldiers abducted him, injured, and he's bleeding. And then they said this is how they erase Massacre Yada. So they're trying to erase Massacre Yada. The mass settler in the video is part of the lynch mob that attacked Hamdan's village. Let's take a look at this. See, he shoved her, right? He shoved a woman, I want to say it's an American woman, Anna Lippman. Anna Lippman got shoved, and then he's sitting there swinging fists at her.
Back to the car. Back to the car.
Remember what they did to Rachel Corrie? They just ran Rachel Corrie over like she wasn't shit. Yeah, I don't see any of them throwing rocks. I don't see any of them throwing rocks.
Car window was broken.
And then where are they at? Whose land are they at? What streets are they at? Israel clearly thinks that they fucking own Palestine and they get to own the Palestinian people. This is natural law territory. The rule of law is broken down. So you're telling me you're going to let a gang of rapist thieves come in and to your house and do whatever they want to your property and your loved ones and to you, you're just going to stand there and not do a damn thing? No, you'll stand up, and you should stand up. You absolutely should stand up. Here's AP. The No Other Land came into the night at top contender after a successful run on the film festival circuit. It did not, however, find a U.S. distributor because the U.S. distributors are a bunch of fucking cowards after being picked up for distribution in 24 countries. So the rest of the world sees what's going on, but not Americans. At least it's not being put into popular culture. You could see some things on X, but because YouTube has their censorship, guidelines, it's tough to know what I had this video of this woman that was on fire in the New York subway, and that got taken down. And so I feel like YouTube, they do some censorship, and so you have to work around their parameters, and that's what I'm trying to do here. But X.com, go to X.com and just type in Palestine, type in Israel, Palestine. There's dead babies all the fucking time, a bunch of injuries, and it's just awful. It's despicable. It's terrible. So it says here, for the Oscar, it beat out Porcelain War, Sugarcane, Black Box Diaries, and soundtrack to a coup d'etat. The documentary was filmed over 4 years between 2019 and 2023, wrapping up production days before Hamas launched its deadly October 7th, 2023 attack. So they finished. So we get to see what it looked like 4 years prior to October 7th, right? Because it all started on October 7th. It didn't begin in 1948. It didn't begin in 1967. No, that's not when it began. It began, they want to tell us that it began October 7th. That's when it began. Yeah, bullshit. Bull fucking shit. And do I have, let's see. Settlers are putting the livestock on his land, on Ballal's land. They're putting livestock on his land in order to try to push him out. They said while he was sleeping, they put livestock on his land to pretend that that's their land. They smashed the car windows. They slashed the tires. Even 5 Americans were attacked. Anna Littman was shoved. We see that on video. We see the terrorists throw the damn rock, smash the windows. We hear the smashing of the windows. Where's the video that says any of these people did a goddamn thing wrong? Because when I think about Emmett Till, well, he definitely got murdered, right? He definitely got kidnapped, beaten, and murdered. But he said something that you were offended by? Nah, you're just a bunch of racist, terrorist pieces of shit. You're a bunch of colonizer, fucking settler motherfuckers. You want to steal other people's land, and since you want to steal other people's land and you're a bunch of racists, you didn't think that brown and black people even had, that they were human to begin with. And so any pretext is good enough. Any pretext is good enough. So hopefully they find Hamdan Ballal. Free Hamdan Ballal.